What it is, what is up, what is good, gamers? This is Shonuff71, aka Digadulamite.
That purple bling bling, yo.
And your auditory canals are tuned into episode 298 of the Gaming Vessels podcast. As usual, I'm not in the digital studio alone. Along with me, got my partners in crime. First on deck, we got Dez, aka the Bay Area Terror, aka the High Res Lover.
That's me.
aka the Cat Daddy, aka that gamer stepdaddy. How's it going?
Going pretty good. After all this rain and growth from plants and whatnot, I've been fighting off my allergies. You know, they've been going a little crazy, so just been resting, taking care of myself, taking my Sudafed, and just kind of just taking it easy because I do not like when my allergies start to hit. So I've just been taking it easy and I'm not doing too crazy stuff. So I'm super happy to be here talking to you two crazy numbskulls about video games and yeah, so we got some fun stuff to talk about in the show. So just stay tuned.
Of course, our show is a no-go without Trader Joe, aka Jabroni Chief.
Yeah.
But you might also know him as the Food Max of Gaming, who can maximize your gaming dollar. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I just got back from seeing Avatar, Fire and Ice, or whatever you want to call that subtitle. Ooh.
Was that 3 hours?
It was 3 hours, yeah.
Jeez, that's too long.
Was it good?
It was okay. It was good. Yeah, I would give it a 4 out of 5. It's just more James Cameron melodrama, Avatar-ish. You know, it straight ass continues from the previous movie, right where it left off. So, and some characters I thought died did not die. So it's
well, there you go.
And it's just I'll save all that drama for your mama. So because
no one stays dead.
No one stays dead.
You just plug into the tree again, right? And that brings you back. Is that how it works?
Well, spoilers for Avatar. If you've seen the first movie, basically, this Marine goes after Jake, the guy that gets planted into the Avatar and winds up going AWOL, and basically he dies at the end of that movie. And then he comes back in movie 2 as one of the Navi, yeah. He comes back as a Navi, and so all the drama for your mama is all from the Navi business and stuff. So, I mean, I think they got 2 more movies to go. I think James.
I thought it was just one.
I think he said he was going to do 2 more, but because of the fact that they didn't get as much ticket sales, I don't know if it's going to get told further or not. So
isn't the budget of these things the same amount to run a small country?
Probably.
So it's maybe if they cut down the budget.
Well, it's all CGI. There's no sets or anything, from what I understand. It's all CGI. So I don't know.
That's wild.
I don't know. See, I think they spent what? It was 3 hours and 17 minutes is how long it was. So
it's so long. Jeez,
are any of those streaming? Because I think the only one I've seen is the first one.
Yeah.
Is the second one streaming anywhere? I wonder.
It's a Fox movie, so it's Disney Plus. So because with Fox being bought up at Disney, yeah. The movie cost Fire and Ash cost $350 million to make.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's one of the most expensive movies ever made. So
that's insane. No wonder they can't make a profit on those. It's
it's too expensive.
It's I bought a Ferrari, but I make a paperboy's salary. It's it make sense.
I don't get it, but hey, you enjoy it.
I got some good news earlier today. I won another Twitter contest for some reason. So
okay,
woo!
What'd you win?
I won a PlayStation 5 copy of Beholgar on here. So it's from Limited Legacy Games. So
Hogar.
yeah,
Yep,
it
never
basically
heard of
looks like I'm not sure about the game. I'll see when I get it. But the cover art makes me. It's like the cousin of Rastan or something. So
that. Oh, okay.
so it's basically it looks like I'm looking it up right now. It's a 2D Metroidvania adventure, but basically you play a dude that straight ass looks like Rastan from back in the day.
Mhm.
So or legendary axe on the TurboGrafx 16, something like that. So I'll be curious to check it out. So
Yeah,
and,
the
and thank
unacclaimed child, Rusty.
yeah.
All right,
And
so
I'd like to
what
thank
you have some
the
else?
Twitter account Does It Play because hey, they gave me a free game, so I like
Okay,
it.
Yeah.
well that's cool. That's cool. Well, folks, as always, we are
No,
going to
how are
roll
you?
in.
How are you, Kev?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm good. Nothing really different or unusual to report. But what we're going to do is roll into what is always our first topic on the docket, and we got a playlist dropping. So let's kick things off first with Dez. What you been playing, bro?
Okay. So, as always, still playing the Diablo 4 expansion, Vessel of Hatred. And I have to say, I really enjoy Diablo. I really enjoy ARPGs. I think it is a genre that is it's a fun genre for just pick up and play. And I think when a company or developer is able to kind of get the leveling up and then the leveling correct and the story correct, they really can shine, and they're really a lot of fun. And I just have a lot of fun running around, and it's very senseless sometimes, and there's just so much to do in it. So I can understand how people can like play a season and then go and really play it over and over again. I can understand how people can do that because you never know what's going to change, and your kill ratios and all this other stuff. So I can understand how people do that. And yeah, so after our last um conversation we had, and I told and I said, I might have to wait. I didn't wait. I went and I pre-ordered the new expansion that's coming out because I wanted to play the Paladin. And I have to report that I was not disappointed. The Paladin is a fantastic class. It's really a lot of fun to play. I was a Paladin main when I played Diablo 3. I'm a Paladin main for Diablo 2. So to have that class back just felt really good, and it plays really, really well. It's very support oriented, and you can beef out a lot of damage, as well as your survivability. It's just a fun class. So I've been playing that with Joe, and it's been kind of our go-to kind of like multiplayer game that we've been playing, and I've just really enjoyed playing with him and hanging out and running through and yeah, I'm exploring the new area, and it's been a lot of fun. So I plan to beat that campaign before the new one comes out, which I think is in April. So and then I'll of course I already pre-ordered it, so I'll be playing that as well. So
Wow,
it's been a lot of fun. What was that, Joe?
Oh, it's coming out soon. I didn't realize it was coming out so soon. So
yeah, like you can't. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it. I cannot wait to see what the new class is. I think it's the Witch Doctor, but we'll see. What else? Been playing Gotham Knights still. As I said before, I'm trying to beat a lot of games this year. I did not beat that many games. In fact, I only beat one, and I want to play my games. I want to sit down. I want to play my games. I want to beat my games, and I want to experience that. I'm a gamer. I want to do that. So So I plan to beat that and then go on to Guardians of the Galaxy because that was a fun game as well. So those are the two games that I want to definitely beat. And Gotham Knights is fun. I think it got the short end of the stick because I don't think people really resonated with playing with the side characters of the Bat family, and I think people, they want to play as Batman. He's the GOAT. He's the one that sells tickets and stuff like that. So having him, be dead just didn't really. I think people didn't really resonate with it. But I think
They wanted Arkham. They wanted Arkham.
Exactly.
Arkham.
Exactly.
And quite frankly, that's why I didn't play it either. Because if it's not Arkham, I really don't. I'm not interested.
Exactly. And no one really cares about all the other the sidekicks. They want to play the main event, and I think you're 100% correct. But
I think it'd have been fine if they'd have put him in an Arkham game, but with the primary playable character being Batman.
Yeah,
I think one or two of them would have outfitted correctly.
And I think if you had the option, or if they did like a Spider-Man kind of thing, where you predominantly play as Spider-Man, and then you had like maybe a smaller section where you played as one of the other members of the Bat family, I think that probably would have went over a lot better, and it was a more tandem working together kind of situation. But just having those four be the main antagonists, I just don't think people really wanted it, and it's a shame though because each of them play so differently in their skills and how they take down people and their movesets and everything. So it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I will end up beating it, like I said. So, but yeah, it was good, or it's been good. The next game I played was a very silly boomer shooter called Fashion Police Squad. And so Fashion Police Squad is if you were to take Doom and make it gay. That's literally what it is. You play this black detective named Dez, and seriously, and you run around.
Did you make this game? Did you make it?
I should have, but he's this black guy named Dez, and you run around and you shoot people. So in the city, what's happening is people are being attacked, or not attacked, but being changed into dull and drab clothing, and so you run around and you shoot them with these color packs that make them very fashionable, and that's the game. And so imagine like Doom graphics, but it's like highly stylized, and everything is very bright and colorful, and you're running around and you're shooting people with these color packs to like make them fabulous, quote unquote. It's a very silly game. And then you have these things where you're building up your healing is margaritas. So sorry, martinis. So you run into martinis and you get healed up. And then there's bow ties, I think, are your armor. And it's just like, okay. And they have this one move when you power up, you have this move where you put on this glove, like a Michael Jackson glove, and you jump up in the air and you do this like spin and a death drop, and you basically run up to people and you start slapping them across the face, like and making them fabulous as you're slapping them across the face. It's very silly. It's very silly. So it's very camp.
So this is a Gal Gun meets Queer Eye for the straight guy. That's what it sounds like.
Exactly. It's very silly. It's very stylized, and at the end of each level, there is a runway show, and everyone that you have saved walks the runway. And there's this other beam where you have to. There are these like super jocks on like scooters, and you have to like suck the color out of them because they're wearing neon, and so you have to like suck the color out of them with your gun in order. You have to change the to like, because like they're like neon, and you have to like suck all the color out of them to make them like not so garish. So it's just a silly game. Joe was over, or I think Joe was over, or some, or we were talking
last weekend. So
we were just chatting. We were playing Diablo, and then I I was going to leave, and then I started playing that for a minute while I was talking to you, and I was talking to you about it. I'm just like, this game is silly. Like, it's just dumb. So, but it's fun. It's fun. And, you know, yay. It's like, you always got to find these, like, sort of niche games out there and try them. And this was one of those. And it's just a very silly game. So if you're, I think it's on sale for like $5 or something. So Fashion Police Squad, check it out. And then the last game that I played is a free-to-play gacha game. It just came out. It's called Arc Knight's Endfield. And I have not found, and I don't think I ever will find, a gacha game. Hey, little girl. A gacha game that I really like and enjoy. I think they're fun in spurts, but the whole gacha mechanic and the timed stuff, I don't really like enjoy, because I'd rather just pay for the game and get the whole game outright. And now you don't even do that, because there's always some DLC or something. But anyway, I tried it. I played it for a couple hours, and of course the story is kind of convoluted, and they always are. And you're this administrator, so it's like administrator, but you put end, like END, administrator. And the story is humans went into space and they colonized this planet, and then there was a huge, like, they lost contact with the Earth, and over 10,000 years they have basically, or a couple hundred years, I don't know however long, but there was a time gap, and they built up their society, but then they were invaded. And you are from this Enfield corporation who puts all this like terraforming type of stuff, and so you awake from your cryo sleep after you've been on a ship over there, on your way to the planet. I think it's called Terra 2 or Talos 2 or something. And you now wake up and you have to assist them in rebuilding the planet. So it has a bit of New Genesis to it, Phantasy Star New Genesis to it, only in that you're on a planet and you're colonists and you're trying to make it work. But so the action is kind of cool. Of course, you can switch to whoever character is in your squad is 4 characters. You can switch to them. But what's really cool is the mechanic they have. There's always like a mechanic to make you want to get your gacha and get your drops. Excuse me. You play your character, and then they will go and do their own thing, sort of a la a Tales type of thing, where they're running around and they're attacking, but they're kind of, they don't really work too well, but they still do their thing. Like, they will attack and stuff. But you can trigger their special abilities. So you have one special ability for yourself, and then you can trigger their special abilities when their bar fills up. And then there's this sort of like quick time game where if they all line up, you hit like R1 and you hit them a bunch of times, like and to trigger all of them together, and then you do this kind of like super move. And so the combat is very fluid. It's very fun, and it's interesting. But the amount of monsters, the monster variety is just not there. It's just you end up fighting the same types of monsters over and over again, and the monster designs are not very striking or anything. So I don't know if a lot of people are gonna get, I'll say their money's worth, but it's free, so there you go. But I don't know. And then there's this this base building element to it. And I was watching a Effects Life how to, do the stuff, and it sounds very convoluted. And for a casual, as a casual player myself, I don't think that I'd want to get too into the base building aspect or the city building aspect of it. Because you build cities and then you get resources, and then you use those resources to upgrade your stuff, and that's kind of the loop. And then you have your banners where you get your either real world money or your or in-game money to roll on these banners to get your characters. And So it has that basic gotcha mechanic situation. But the one thing that I do not like is it is heavily furry, pseudo like furry aesthetics. So everyone is crossed with an animal. They all have tails, they all have ears, they'll have their animal ears on the top of their head, and then they have like normal human ears. So I don't understand what's going on, but there's a lot of like furry or anthropomorphic type of stuff. They all look like, humans, except for the ones that are actually more. There's like a panda bear that you can get who's wearing like a leather jacket and leather chaps, and he has like a big walk on his back, and he hits people with the walk. And there's other girls who are have swords and all this other stuff that they put into it. But I don't think that I'm gonna be playing it that long. It just doesn't seem like it's something for me. So I have not. Again, this is another gotcha game that I just do not feel that I can get into. So, but I tried it. Hey, it's free, so I tried it, and you can't say I didn't. But I think that's pretty much.
I did download it. I haven't played it yet. I played the open beta, and I think I probably played a little bit, about as much as you. You played like a few hours, right?
Yeah. I played it for like 3 or 4 hours, and I was just like, But again, if you played one gotcha game, you've kind of played them all. And it's just the combat is a little. I feel that this combat is really really very smooth, but it feels a lot like something that has come before it. So
yeah, I might give it a shot. But I'll let you know just in case if you want to play multiplayer. If you're going to continue,
I don't. Is there a multiplayer on it? I don't think there was a multiplayer in it.
I'm not sure if there is or not. Let me double check.
Everything that I've watched has not hinted to it being multiplayer, so I don't know. So
got it.
But who knows? But
who knows?
Yep. But that's all I've been playing. So I'll kick it over to Kev. What's on your playlist, buddy?
I have been playing. Well, I haven't been playing a whole lot. Last night, I completed, with the help of Jabroni, Borderlands 4.
Woo! It's in the back of the rear mirror. It's in the rearview mirror now. You're done, buddy. You made it.
Mirror, and it is deleted.
And here I was going to give you some level 50 guns. Oh well.
Well, I finished at level 39. I'm not going to play that game for another 11 levels to be able to just use them. It was, and like I've said in prior episodes, this was just my stubbornness in wasting the money on the digital. I should have waited until the physical came back in stock, picked it up. I would have played it within that first hour or two. I'd have realized this isn't for me, and I could have either returned it or sold it, one or the other.
Okay. So I have a quick question about this.
Yeah.
I have a quick question about this. So, having played, I would assume 20 plus hours of this game to completion. What are your thoughts on it? What is your review of it?
I think if you like Borderlands, it's probably great, but because I really can't give you this is
just your opinion.
This would be like, well, you see, that's just it, because I can say I don't like it. That's easy, and I can tell you why I don't like it. I don't like the humor. I'm not really in love with the artistic direction of the series in general. I'm not in love, and the thing that really ticked me off, was that regardless of what activities I did, my guns would never truly match my level. I would never get those guns that would really, help me to take on the next boss. They were always, they would say they would be matched at the level that I was at, but
no impact.
But their damage was just so low, and I'm always fighting dudes that are either at the same level or a level above me. And it was like I was constantly scrapping to get those last few shots in to take down a mid boss or what do you call them dudes that are in the energy domes that you can take down to get extra stuff. All of those activities that you would think would yield quality firepower in a game that's designed to keep you chasing that loot, I got nothing. 99% of the time I would do an activity, I get trash weaponry. And that just really ticked me off.
Okay.
But I really can't say that it's a bad game. That would be like having me play Madden and asking me if it's a good game or not. I don't play sports games, so
Okay.
I look at Borderlands it's the same way. I don't play Borderlands games, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. I can't say, well, yeah, it's either good or bad compared to the last Borderlands game I played, because the last Borderlands game I played was the first one, and I only played that for about an hour before I realized it wasn't for me. So to say it's trash is not really fair, because the game is not for me to begin with. The reason I got it was because I thought it was going to play more like Destiny. And I fell for the marketing. The marketing was very Destiny-esque in its presentation. And since Bungie can't count to 3, I was thinking, well, this is probably going to be the next best thing to that. And that's why I was really eager to jump into it. And it's like, well, why are you playing a game that you don't like to completion? That doesn't make any sense. And it's like, I'll be the first one to say it doesn't make any sense. But I have a weird thing about wasting money. And I at least wanted to say, since I can't sell it, I can't take it back, I at least wanted to complete it and then delete it and just say, okay, it's finished and done. I didn't throw my money away. I mean, really, I did, because I didn't enjoy it, but I utilized something I purchased. And really, that's the end all. Had Joe not been available last night, I had already decided that I was going to delete the game and just call it a wrap, because I had fought the end guy before, and he has 3 skill bars, 3 bars of energy. I fought him, killed him, but no, I've got my Super Saiyan 2 form, and it got to fight him again. I was just like, okay, I'll tell you something else. I didn't think the end boss was all that interesting to fight. I would put him in the same class if you ever played BioShock, the original BioShock. The end boss fight in BioShock was trash. The game was fun, but the end boss fight, in my opinion, was absolute garbage. This was the same way, and I just was not inclined to finish that.
All right. Well, I think so. But I just think, again, because this was your like one of your first full on, like, I'm going to complete it, given your stubbornness and whatever. I just want to see if there was anything that you found that was interesting, or fun about it. And it seems like you didn't, and that's fine, and I think all of those are valid, and
because it's
and
a bad
even though
game. It's not because I don't want people to think it's not because it's a bad game. It's just not a game for me.
Yeah, and that's and I think that's honest.
That clear.
Yeah, and I think that's honest, and I just wanted to know what your experience was. Cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. So beyond that, I really hadn't done much. But what it looks like I'm going to have to do is send the hard drive for my Ogami back to RetroRex. Because it's having problems. And also, big shout out to RetroRex customer service support. I mean, these guys have been going, and I would say they have gone, I won't say above and beyond, but their customer service has just been top notch. Like, I'm getting responses within like 30, 40 minutes from submitting my concern or my question. So basically what has happened is About 2 weeks ago, I played the console, was playing games on MAME, having a blast. Turned the console off. And when I say console, it's not a console, it's a mini PC. Turn the mini PC off through the correct channels, going to opening the menu, doing the complete shutdown. It powers off. I go on about my business. So about 7 or 8 days pass, and then I turn it on again. First thing I noticed was my the system settings that I had created when I first logged in had defaulted to factory settings. So that was number one. So I'm going in, and although my controllers were mapped, my resolution that I had set for all the different emulators, not emulators, but the different systems that I had played, SNES, MAME, Genesis, they had all defaulted to their factory settings. So I noticed that. The next thing I noticed was that regardless of what game I selected, I was getting this bezel graphic. It kind of looks like if you took a Vectrex and blew it up, 5 times its size. I had these Vectrex shaped bezels on each side, and in the center, dead center, it's like I had like a 4K image of whatever game I was playing that maybe at best was only designed to display at 760K. Most of these old arcade games had even lower resolutions than that, and I just had this itty bitty square of the game actually playing. Now the game would play the games were playing perfectly fine, but I could not get rid of these bezels. So I jumped online and started looking through Batocera, seeing what can I do to get rid of these bezels. And I would go and I would follow the online solutions. Nothing worked. So then I reached out to Retro Rex customer support through email. And these guys, like I said, were Johnny on the spot. They were giving me a special shout out to Flynn, who has been assisting me in this process. Just somebody who was like really trying to resolve the matter, and I really appreciate how they're standing behind their product. So basically, what Flynn was having me do was he had submitted some Batocera kind of like developer notes. And he had gone through the process of like snipping them to what he thought was relevant to solving the problem, emailing those to me. I was following those instructions, taking screenshots of what I had done, and also showing that it had no effect. So we had gone back and forth maybe about 2 or 3 times with different solutions. None of them worked. So it looks like what they're saying is that even though Batocera is really good, it can be squirrely sometimes. Like, it's like they didn't develop Batocera. That it's like it was like an open source project for people that were really into, preserving these old games. And sometimes stuff just does not work for some reason. And what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to reflash Batocera onto the drive, go back in, check the settings again, or reset those settings, and then send the drive back to me. So Monday they're going to be supplying me with a shipping label. All of this is free of charge. Providing me a shipping label, and I'm going to send the drive back. And they're going to reflash it, then send the drive back to me. What I think I may do also is buy a second drive just to have like their settings on it. And if this situation just kind of pops up again, reflash the second drive to the one that they're going to send me back. So I might purchase a second drive with their Batacera settings on it. So I'll have a duplicate of that.
It's good that they're being such good with their customer service.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm glad I chose them for my kind of like my all-in-one solution. Not only have they gone what I would consider above and beyond just in the presentation of their products, also the fact that they have gone above and beyond trying to reduce the number of duplicates. Like I have a Ken Hank drive, and Ken Hank is cool and all for a product. They also have a mini PC that is out. I have watched the reviews on this. The Ken Hank mini PC is just a ROM dump. It has 20 different versions of Street Fighter 2 Turbo, 30 different versions of Space Invaders, and then they'll turn around and say, "Oh yeah, well we've got 100,000 games on this drive." It's like, yeah, you do, but a whole lot of these are just duplicates, and the duplicates don't really have any differences between them. You may say, well, this is the Japanese version, this is the European version. When you go into them, they're the same damn game. Like not even the languages are different. So it's a ROM dump, and that's fine because there is a place for ROM dumps. I'm glad I have my 12 terabyte Ken Hank drive, because that is now my refrigerator for all my games. So I can just pull them off of the Ken Hank, put them on a flash drive, and then move them to the Batacera when it gets back to me. Hopefully that's how I'll be able to get Loop Master working again. Or if I come across a game, I don't see how, but if I come across a game that I don't have that I want, I know it's going to be on that 12 terabyte Ken Hank drive. So there is a purpose for ROM dumps, for the ROM dumps that Ken Hank has, but they are not a good idea for like an all-in-one product that, or quote unquote plug and play product, because it's going to be loaded with duplicates. And I think Retro Rex went above and beyond the Call of Duty to eliminate as many unnecessary duplicates as possible. But their customer service has been really good. So I'll be sending this drive back and just waiting for them to reflash it, send it back to me. And hopefully that should put me back on track for my retro fund. Because I got to tell you, man, this Ogami, outside of, what's going on right now, it's probably been one of the best gaming purchases I've made, like, in a long time. Like, it's right up there with what I would consider the PS5 Pro, getting a 4K TV, getting, whatever game that I have been really enjoying in any given year, as like I'm glad I made this decision and bought that product. The Ogami is right there in that space. So I can't say enough good things about it. But really, that's really all I have been up to. So I'm going to pass the mic to Jabroni Chief. Well, what games you been playing, bro?
Let's see, this last couple weeks, since we recorded, I did go up to Desmond's last weekend, so I brought the Switch 2 this time, along with my Steam Deck and my PlayStation Portal, and guess what? I just played my Steam Deck and PlayStation Portal, so it's like... as far as what I played on my Steam Deck on the train, I obviously played more Trails in the Sky on there, so Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, so I'm still continuing my playthrough of that. Not too much to comment about that. I did try a couple of other games on the Steam Deck, though. I played Vampire Survivors for the first time, so it's like I never played this Bullet Heaven game that I know, Des, you've played before in the past. on there, and I actually thought it was kind of relaxing in a way. So it kind of reminds me of playing like a Robotron or Smash TV type game, but where you don't have to worry about shooting. You're basically just making sure you're moving your dude around and trying to avoid and effectively, like, knock out
Like
all
tag.
the creatures on the screen. So I kind of felt like it was cool. I'll probably go back to play it. I think I also own it. I think it might be on a PlayStation Plus deal or something like that. So I'll see. But playing on the Steam Deck, it's pretty simple, obviously. So and my little introduction to the genre a little bit. I played other games, obviously in the same wheelhouse, but something where I was controlling the shooting as well. It kind of reminds me of a Housemarque game in a way on there, but just more simple, I should say. So I also played a game that I previously played on the Xbox. This game called Ghost Lore, which was a Singapore developed game. Indie title, but very much an ARPG. And I know both me and Des played that in the past, and I actually enjoyed Ghost Lore quite a bit. And so I did go in and pick it up not too long ago. It was pretty cheap. It was like around, I think, $7.99 or $10 or something like that. And it plays pretty well on the Steam Deck, actually. So I actually enjoyed doing a run and kind of giving that a go. So I want to try to get back to that and play that some more and get beyond where I was at with the Xbox version, at least. So on that, but and then also on PlayStation, of course, I was playing Diablo 4 with Dez. Again, I was playing on my PlayStation Portal in his game den, and he was playing on the TV because it's his TV. I don't want to like hog it up or whatnot, but it gives me an opportunity to play on the Portal on there. So I've been mainly playing like a barbarian, but it's also I've been playing with Spiritborn class, and then I also created a druid class as well. So I want to decide on one of those three characters and actually do a single player run of Vessel of Hatred, and then reserve the other two characters and when me and Desmond happen to play multiplayer and that kind of thing. As far as the different character classes, I think the Spiritborn actually is pretty cool on there. So, and I haven't really played too far with the Druid. I'm only like level 5, so I'm still trying to get used to the way that character class plays. Pretty much, I've tried like most of the character classes in Diablo 4 now. The only one I haven't really dabbled with is a Necromancer, and then maybe it's something I'll take a look at just to dabble and kind of go from there. So,
I like your minions.
I don't know. I'm not sure because I've never really. It's like I'm trying to think if I ever played another ARPG where I had a bunch of minions rolling around or not. So
I mean, granted, you don't have to continually use the minions. You can. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's just like it's a minion-based class, so why wouldn't you? But you can fully play the Necro without minions too. Like that is kind of a completely viable way to play the game.
No, I think I remember like having a kind of similar class playing Grim Dawn of all games. So it's like I'm not against having minions at all, but I've been mainly more like a barbarian type, up and like more of a tank on there. I enjoyed playing the rogue as well, in the past. Like I do like some like distance and some of the ARPG gameplay, but Diablo 4 is good. I'm trying to decide whether I want to actually buy the newest expansion ahead of time to get the rogue, or whether I'm just going to wait for it to drop.
Oh, you get the paladin, right?
Yeah, paladin. That's what I meant. So thank you for correcting me.
Okay.
I'm still playing Borderlands 4 quite a bit. Pretty much, I looked at my PlayStation account and I have 222 hours in Borderlands 4 so far.
Jeez,
basically, I've gone in and there's like 4 spots on the map, basically. So there's like the Ripper Queen, there is Vile Lictor, and of course the whole schematic with the Crimson Resistance. And so I basically
spoilers.
To both the Vile Lictor, the Augur section of the map, and then also with the Crimson Resistance section of the map, and I have completed 100% of every activity I could complete. So wow. I've now pretty much when Kevin called me, I was making my first foray into the Ripper Queen territory and doing that whole story arc up there. So, in a way, it's like I was like kind of resistant to help Kevin last night because I didn't want any spoilers. But, I thought about it for a second. It's like, God, I'm going to fight the timekeeper. It's like, it is what it is. It's like, I already know who I'm going to fight at the end. So it's not like it's spoiling anything. So,
No.
And right now, because of the way I played this game, I am basically just I've gotten into the minutia of gathering guns, and I am supremely overpowered now. So it just kind of feels good to play around my loadout and swap in and out some different guns and experiment with the grenades. So that's where the minutia of that gameplay is kind of gone for me, where other people might have been bored or beat the game by now and so on and so forth. That's why I've spent so much time with the game. If you remember last year, if you listened to the show for a while, and me getting into the minutia of arms race for a while, that kind of little run in Borderlands 3 where you're able to kind of like a Fortnite type single player game where you're just gathering a bunch of weapons and something like that. So it's like I kind of view Borderlands 4 in a way just like kind of the bastard child between a Borderlands game and Far Cry. And so it's like it's scratching all those obsessive compulsive itches with me as far as trying to crank every portion of the map, do every side quest, so on and so forth. Kevin, I went back and did that claptrap side quest where you're jumping on different panels and so on and so forth. There's a whole jumping challenge.
Hated that. I hated that.
I got it done.
That and the punch it, kick it, shoot it. The twist bop, punch it, pass it, twist it. I hated that too.
So, I do look forward to a day where I'm not playing Borderlands 4 all the time, but we'll see. Probably by the time I finish the game and kind of put it away, it's we're probably going to bust out with the DLC for the game. So, but I'm still thoroughly enjoying it. So, and I want to kind of spread the wealth like Des has talked about in 2026 with some of my backlog. I'm organizing my games right now, my physical game collection. And it's like I could probably not buy another game this year and still have plenty to play. So
that's probably the next.
No,
2
that's
years.
not happening.
Yeah, I know.
I know it's not, but I'm saying he could probably not buy anything for the next 2 years and be probably 3 years and be completely, satiated.
I could retire and still have games to play. So. But anyway, I'm going to try to keep my new game purchases down to a lesser degree, so we'll see how well I do with that. So, the last couple episodes I talked about, I traded in a bunch of stuff to GameStop, and I did have enough credit. I pre-ordered Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, and I got Neo 3 pre-ordered, and I pretty much pre-ordered also Crimson Desert, which I'm kind of excited to play in a way.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Walmart actually had a steelbook, so it's like as soon as I saw a steelbook exclusively at Walmart, okay, Walmart, bring that steelbook to me, baby.
Yikes.
Yeah. But that's all I've been up to these last couple weeks. Oh, I also, before I kick it over to you, Des, for the next segment, I did get, like I mentioned before, I won a new controller. Actually, I won a controller from Hex Gaming. And I just got it yesterday, and so I had the chance to
give it to me.
Yeah, I gave it to you. You want it?
You should give it to me because you're constantly spamming my X account with your entries because you always got to tag someone. Constantly getting tagged by Joe with this stuff, and you're like, okay, so at least you won.
What else
buddy.
are you going to use X for? What else is X good for?
I don't use X other than to do contrast entries, so it's like
Yep.
I want to look at X,
Hey, make it worth your while, man. I say bravo. Yeah. You're using the only thing that platform's any good at is replying to contest entries.
Yep.
One thing also is a lot of the baseball writers use Twitter/X still, where they're not on Blue Sky or other social media. So sometimes if I want to see what my favorite team is doing, I'll go in and see if there's any activity on the social media sites for some of the more notable national baseball writers. So other than that, yeah, I don't want to even kind of dip my toe in that grok. I don't want I'm not going to put a picture of me on X and then have someone undress me with grok. So it's like, we'll leave that alone.
No, thank you.
Leave that alone. I don't want to see me naked on X with grok. I want them burning a tree. Just do the AI to imagine what it looked like naked.
Don't do that.
But the Hex Gaming, the Phantom controller is pretty nice. Basically, it has 4 back buttons, and if you don't know what these like third-party companies do, they basically just buy like regular controllers for Xbox, PlayStation. So this is just a regular DualShock. Not DualShock, DualSense controller that they bought and modded. So I got of course, the Hall Effect sticks on there. There's 4 back buttons on the back, and they're micro switches on the back, which is kind of different from the half domes I usually play with on the DualSense Edge on there. And I did notice like a little bit of a difference, but I kind of like the feel of the controller. I'm just trying to get used to having 4 back buttons on the back. So on there, I don't know if it's like I actually kind of prefer the half domes. I don't know what. Do you have paddles on the back of your DualSense Edge, Kev, or what's your preference on that?
I have the little. What do I have on the back of the? I think it's
either the paddles or the half dome. Okay.
Yeah, I will tell you in just a second because it's right next to me. I have the paddles.
Oh, you have the paddles. Okay.
Yeah.
I prefer the half domes for whatever reason, but going to these micro switches is kind of cool. It's something where I'm just going to have to kind of come with a use case scenario, excuse me, to be able to have 4 back buttons with particular games. I think it might work for Diablo and some other ARPGs and maybe other games that kind of rely on that complex like macros and whatnot. But I'm super satisfied. I got that free controller. It's like a $300 controller, so I am happy about it. So
yeah,
the Hex Gaming.
The Hex Gaming, I have the Phantom as well. It's and I think I've got the same type that you have with the 4 back buttons. I've been using it for like it's what I use to play Borderlands 4 with, and I turned the trigger for the guns button into a micro switch by using that slider on the underside of it. And I think it does increase the response. You're only limited to the shooting animations of whatever game you're playing. And I've also used it with Helldivers 2.
Right on.
Yeah, and I'm kind of digging the way it plays with that. But yeah, it's a solid controller. I would not have paid $300 for it. I'm glad I got it at the amount of money I did. But I think maybe if I was really into FPS games, I think this would be a solid investment because it does change the way FPSs play, how you can map things. I was sliding around in Borderlands 4 a whole lot easier than I would have been, had I not had a pro controller. So I definitely see the appeal of them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even with the DualSense Edge, I do use the trigger locks, and I like having the micro switches on the back of the trigger playing an FPS game. So I think the only time I'm gonna enable it to use full analog is with a racing game or something. So
yeah,
but, that's all I've been up to the last couple of weeks. So I'll kick it back over to you, Kev.
All right. So with that said, we're moving on to our. We have some acknowledgments to make with our annual rolling credits contest. So I'm going to hand the mic to Des, let y'all know who participated and who won. Sorry, Des, you got it.
All right. Thanks, Kev. So, everybody, so it is time for
It's not butter.
What's that? It's
When
not
you did the bump of the dumb, I said it's not butter.
It's parquet. Um,
Imperial.
Stop it. So for rolling credits, every year we reward one of our listeners for that has beaten the most games of the calendar year. And so for 2025, we had a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people who participated. So if you want to participate in this, you can definitely join our Discord. We have a little server on there, and one of the tabs is rolling credits, and all we ask is that you post the credits. Just take a picture of the credits on your TV screen and post them, and that's one of your entries. So let's talk about the folks who came in and see where the results are. So coming in at last place with 1 game beaten is me. I beat 1 game. Neon Octo beat 1 game. Goonie beat 1 game, and Will D beat 1 game. You guys might have beaten more, but these are the ones that you posted. So I know I only beat 1 game, so I know my stats is correct. So okay, so next up is people who beat 3 games, and that is Joe and Kevin. So they are both tied for beating 3 games in 2025. So, Kev, you're starting to slip, sir. You beat more last year. Sorry, 2024.
Major slippage.
Yeah. So in second place, we have Chase, Crucial Chase, who beat 6 games in 2025. Thank you, Chase, for posting all those. And the number 1 person beating 10 games in 2025 is Mr. John BT. Yay, John BT! You are a winner. You were a wiener, John BT. But he's the one that's out there just beating games left and right, having a lot of fun with it, and we really appreciate you posting and getting this prize. And this prize is a $60 gift card. So in order to claim your prize, all you have to do is just message Joe Jabroni Chief, and he will get that to you. And it could be $60. It could be a Visa gift card. It could be to GameStop. Probably not, but it could be PlayStation Store, PSN. You name it. $60 is yours. So again, we just want to say thank you so much for participating, everybody. If you would like to participate in this in the future, just join our Discord. Stay till the end. Kev will let you know how to do that, and you too could win something, whether it's $60 gift card or a game or something. But like I said, January of 2027, we'll be doing our awards ceremony, if this is a ceremony, if you want to call it that. But yeah. Yeah, that's really kind of cool. Either of you have any comments about the games? That games you want to beat next year or anything like that? I know I'm trying to beat some games. Joe, you got any games?
Yeah, several. So we'll see what happens. I'm
Well, I
obviously
know you're going to beat
Borderlands 4.
Yeah, well, let's see if you ever beat it. So hopefully you will.
Oh, okay.
Kev, what about you? You gonna try to beat your
mine
record?
is just it. Well, hopefully. My gosh, that's pitiful. But it's probably going to be right around 3 or 4. I don't see it going too much higher than 3 because, again, a lot of my free time is just gobbled up.
Yeah.
What I want to do is I definitely want to get back into fighting games in 2026.
There you go.
That's really that's kind of sort of where my head's at. I have some games that I definitely want to finish, like Ghost of Yotei and Stellar Blade and a couple others, but I kind of want to push fighting games a little bit more into the forefront instead of being in the back burner where they've been like forever and a day.
Yeah, I definitely can understand that. I know for me, I'm going to be trying to push in more single player experiences to the forefront. Granted, I love playing multiplayer. And I love doing that. But I am going to try to push those single player experiences to the forefront. Anything for you, Joe?
Just to actually finish some of the games I've played in years past. So Dragon Quest 11 is a game I haven't played in months now, and that's something that's kind of been eating at me because I'm about halfway through that campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to go ahead and I think I've talked or mentioned this in previous podcasts, but a lot of the Sony first party games I haven't either never played or not haven't got that far in, and so Horizon Zero Dawn is something that I want to play and check out. For whatever reason, I've heard people talk about Killzone Shadowfall as being a decent game, so it's
Mm-hmm.
something to where I might go back and play that. And
Any
also,
interest in the God of War games?
I have not played either God of War 2018 or Ragnarok. I own them both, so it's a point that I got a lot of catching up to do, I think, in a way. So, and then obviously I mentioned before I'm picking up Neo 3 that's coming out pretty soon. I just want to have the Steelbook, but I think I want to go back and actually play a Souls-like game, and so I think Neo 1 would probably be in my radar,
Ooh.
or possibly Elden Ring. So we'll see how well that kind of
Good luck, sir.
goes down. So
So
we'll see.
good luck. So again, thank you everyone who submitted credits. We want this to grow again in 2026. So please, again, like I said, if you want to be a part of this, stay tuned as Kev will let you know how to join our Discord. And yeah. So that's it for this segment. And we're moving on to the Jabroni Gaming News.
All right, thank you, Des.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, good deal. So we want to first kind of hit up Ubisoft. So what's going on with Ubisoft lately? Quite a bit. So Ubisoft pretty much at the beginning of the week announced that they canceled 6 games as part of its quote-unquote thorough review of its content pipeline. So they previously announced a Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake that was announced I think back in 2020 on here, but it got rebooted after being segmented out to like a Ubisoft studio in India of all places. So they brought it internal to Ubisoft Montreal, and a lot of people were expecting it sometime in 2026. Guess what? It got canceled. So that's out the door. There's also 4 unannounced titles, 3 being new intellectual properties that got canceled, and also a mobile game. So Ubisoft's pretty much cutting it down to the quick on there. So basically they said that they're going to allocate additional development time to 7 games in order to quote unquote ensure enhanced quality benchmarks and maximize long-term player creation, long-term value creation. So this also includes an unannounced title previously planned for release in fiscal year 2026 that has been delayed to fiscal year 2027. That the rumor is that is the remake of Assassin's Creed Black Flag on that. So and so they also announced the fact that the rest of their all of their studios have to return to office work, meaning that they have to be in office 5 days a week to work on their games. So a lot of the developers obviously have been critical of all this business. So and they mentioned the fact that because of the fact that they did go ahead and say that they required everyone to be in the office, and they fired or laid off quite a few people as well. There was some layoffs at Massive, the same company that developed the Division and the Avatar game. So they did have about 60 employees that got canned on there. And after that, though, the stock prices, Ubisoft shares dropped 33% in the French market on there because of the fact of all this business. So their share price dropped pretty significantly on there. So we'll have to see if they do make a nice little comeback. And to me, Ubisoft's been kind of treading water lately. It's they've created some decent games. Like Star Wars Outlaws is quite good. They have gone back in to do certain things like update older games for modern day consoles and so on and so forth. I just don't know as far as like, people wondering what's going on with the Far Cry franchise. Assassin's Creed, obviously, the whole thing with the Gamergate, or the chuds with Assassin's Creed Shadows and all that. So we'll have to see how they pivot, what they do. I think the running joke with Ubisoft is like, don't buy the game at launch because it'll be on sale for like 40% off within like a month of launch, so.
Exactly.
Like I know the game that you really like, Immortals Phoenix Rising, they actually had a sequel that was in the works and they canceled it, even though a lot of people liked that game and felt that it should have been given a little bit more love, but they didn't get the sales out of it. So it just seems like, I don't know about you guys. I'll kick it over to either of you two, but I think they're being way too reactionary in the way, and like it's like they're trying to, almost like they're on a boat and they're trying to plug in multiple leaks on this thing, and it just seems like they need to get ship shape, and like they just seem kind of rudderless right now. So
I think they're just trying to look. They're trying to get that money, Joe, and they're trying to. I think they're just trying to either get that money, or they're trying to stop any kind of internal possible leakage that they have, or any kind of what would be the word? I guess it would be sort of like planning for the future, because I think they ain't got nothing working for them right now, or at least I think that they do. Like, I don't think a lot of their, I don't know, I just feel that sometimes they are as a company, and I think a lot of companies kind of do this, is they're very short-sighted, and they don't want to take the chance of losing any money, and I think that thing of sometimes you just got to kind of let shit marinate a little bit. I think that's kind of what they really need to do, is just kind of, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They're chasing hits, and it seems like they're very short-sighted.
That's what I mean.
They should give chance to like curate and like get something to where they have a franchise like Assassin's Creed where they could iterate.
Yeah, but they run that into the ground.
I know.
And that's the problem. It's like they want that next hit, and I get it. You're only as good as your last cut and all that, but at the same time, it's like you got to give us a little bit more, or something different. I think even though Phoenix Rising didn't get the things that, or the projections that they wanted, I thought that was still a very strong game, and they could have built something from that. And I think that they don't have the patience to build another Assassin's Creed. They don't have the patience to build another quality franchise. And I think that's the problem with a lot of these companies that have had franchises like this before, and I just think if they just honestly just slow the roll a little bit, they'd be able to at least get something, but that's just not in the books for them. And maybe I'm just being a little bit too what is the word? Being a little bit too
pessimistic?
No, optimistic. Not pessimistic.
Oh, okay.
Being a little too optimistic for them. Because they got to make sure that their CEOs can get their money.
They did announce that
to buy themselves.
This fiscal year they're going to post an operating loss of around 1 billion euros for their current financial year.
There you go.
In March 2026. They also stated that they want to have cost reduction initiatives to reduce its fixed cost by additional 200 billion euros over the next 2 years. So
there you go.
Be ready for that AI development. Oh boy.
Well, you also got to realize these are actions being taken by Tencent. This isn't Ubisoft doing this. This is Tencent making them do this. So, because, like the old saying, bitch better have my money. Tencent's knocking on the door, said, okay, we own you now. You're going to have to start showing a return on investment. And just like Microsoft, when they acquire studios, when these big conglomerates get involved and gobbling up, big bank take little bank, although in the Ubisoft bank, it's like bigger bank take big bank. They ain't worried about letting things marinate, letting things matriculate, letting developers do what they want to do. They're about, I need my profits now.
Yep.
And this is not Ubisoft's doing. This is Tencent's doing. We already know that they killed, which could have been one of the best Assassin's Creed stories of all time, with the freed enslaved black man becoming an assassin and going back into the South to fight the growing Ku Klux Klan. That could have been so dope. But what has happened? We've already seen how they've acted how Ubisoft has acted during this whole Yasuke Inoue with Assassin's Creed Shadows. They have kind of backed down and shied away and taken things out and done this and done that. And honestly, I think if they could have gotten away with it, they would have removed Yasuke entirely. I honestly believe that, because some of the moves that they made during this whole, quote unquote, outrage over the game. But the other thing that they have to figure out how to do is they need to go back to their roots. And I think a company like Tencent is going to force them to do that. They're going to put the franchises that have a history of being profitable in the hands of other studios under their umbrella, and they're going to see what they can do. I think Ubisoft, by the time everything's all said and done, Ubisoft may exist as a name for just as a corporation, but I don't think it's going to exist as a studio, because Tencent wants their money, and they are going to farm out the most successful licenses, the most successful intellectual properties under the Ubisoft umbrella to the studios that they have under their umbrella. When I mean by that Tencent, and they're going to have them do something. So there's going to be a focus on reduced budgets. There's going to be an increase in what would you call crunch time. And I think there's going to be a real heavy influx of AI usage. So, get ready. It ain't gonna be the same. It ain't gonna be the same.
No, it's not.
They did mention that they are going to do 5 separate creative houses. They're reorganizing their creative endeavors on there. So Creative House 1 is basically the Tencent studio, which is Vantage Studios on here. So they're going to be managing their established brands to turn them into annual billionaire brands, according to
There you go.
Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six. They said Creative House 2 is dedicated to competitive and cooperative shooter experiences. That includes brands like The Division, Ghost Recon, and Splinter Cell. Creative House 3 is designed to operate a roster of select sharp live experiences. That includes games like The Crew, For Honor, Riders Republic, Skull and Bones. I don't know about Skull and Bones. Creative House 4.
Get out of here.
Creative House 4 is dedicated to immersive fantasy worlds and narrative-driven universes. That includes games like Anno, Rayman, Prince of Persia, Beyond Good and Evil. Guess what? Beyond Good and Evil 2 is still in development for some reason. So, and then Creative House 5 is going to be for casual and family-friendly games. So your Just Dances and Unos and Hasbro games and that kind of crap. So
the only one that matters is Development House 1 and maybe 2. Everything else, I think, is just they're just saying shit. They want money, and they believe that Development House 1 and 2 is going to be able to do it. What is Development House 1? It's those annual franchises. Same thing that killed Assassin's Creed. Same thing that killed Far Cry. Those annual chapters. But now that we got AI, you don't have to drive your developers under the table by working them to death. You can just fire a whole bunch of them and just have AI fill in the gaps. So yeah. Ubisoft does not exist. You might as well just say Ubisoft has become absorbed by the Borg. Resistance is futile. So it is what it is. They let their development costs run away from them. They forgot what an Assassin's Creed game even was. So they ain't got nobody to blame but themselves.
We'll see if they can make a comeback. I want to see Division 3 at least for me. So it's like, the director of Division 2 left Ubisoft last week for EA, and he's going to be running the Battlefield brand. So
yeah. These guys know what they see the hand. They've been seeing the handwriting on the wall. So anybody that's got a halfway decent resume has already landed someplace else. Everybody else is just biding their time until they can either move on to another company within the gaming industry, or maybe be able to take their talents to a whole other media-based industry altogether and just leave gaming.
We'll see what happens. So next thing I want to talk about is Xbox had a developer direct this week. So they featured 4 different games on this developer direct. So they finally showed some gameplay for Fable. And Fable is actually coming out for both PlayStation and Xbox day one.
Love to see it.
So basically it's going to be released autumn 2026 on Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PlayStation 5 on there. So if you happen to have Game Pass Ultimate, is still available on Game Pass and Xbox Play Anywhere from day one on there. But this is a game that's being developed by Playground Games on there. I know they mentioned the fact that there's over 1,000 NPCs that are in the actual game world that you can interact with, and they're all different on there. So, and you could do obviously some stuff, other than to do combat. You could get a job, you could buy a house, you could buy a business and get married. So kind of like how the Fable series has played before in the past, there is a morality system involved as well. And all your actions will have an impact on your reputation. And NPCs might treat you differently based on your kind of way you play on there. So we'll have to see. It sounds like it's kind of going to be kind of replayable in a way. So, and Des, did you check out the Fable trailer, or did you check out any of the footage?
I did. I watched the whole thing. Yay for me. No, I thought it looked good. Oh, okay, cool. And yeah, I really hope that they allow you to still have when you're evil, you start to look evil. I really hope that aspect is still a part of it. I don't know if it is or not. They did not mention that in the development thing they showed with it. They didn't show that. I do like that it is a persistent world, meaning that if you do certain things in game, they will you'll still see that in the landscape and whatnot. So you can get married, have kids. So it just feels like it's going to be a nice reentry to the Fable universe. I love that you can create your own character, of course. That was funny. Like, some people online were saying that they were trolling people by making it a female in the trailers and all that, thinking that you had to play a female character. So I thought that was kind of funny. But overall, I think it looks great. I cannot wait to play it. I will be playing it. I think it's smart for them to put it out on PlayStation 5. Because that's who's going to buy it.
Got to buy the games.
Exactly. I don't want to say that, but you were right, Kev. Somebody's got to buy the
That
game.
and Steam. That and Steam.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to buy the games.
Yeah, you can't live off of.
You can't live on Game Pass. Ain't paying nobody's bills. If
at
it
all.
was, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing.
Exactly.
They've actually been very successful on PlayStation, especially with the Forza Horizon series and whatnot. So, and they've had quite a bit of sales. So I'm thinking it's actually working for them, this pivot. So,
which is great.
Speaking
Good
of
for them, better for us.
Speaking of Forza Horizon 6, they did show that game off. Obviously, it's another open world racer, and it's going to be in Japan this time on here. So I know the game stated that you begin your journey as just a regular tourist in Japan, but you finally get into the world of racing, So, and of course, you get the Horizon Festival and, hey, how's it going, party people, and all that crap. So, but hopefully the racing gameplay will be a little bit better. I know, Kev, you kind of dropped off Forza Horizon after the last couple of entries, so...
I got a few things to say about Forza Horizon 6, and I think this is one of the reasons when people say it's I'm trying to figure out a way to say this without sound like a complete jerk. When people say the Microsoft stench when it comes to their first party games, Forza Horizon 6. Okay, you are setting this in Japan. All right, and I watched this developer direct as well. You've got a woman there who has been plugged in to car culture both in the United States, in Los Angeles, as well as the car culture in Tokyo. Why in the hell does this just look like every other Forza Horizon game that they've ever done? The problem, they should have made this more like Midnight Club. Midnight Club from the guy from
Rockstar.
Rockstar. That game had a deeper connection to the Japanese car culture than this game has. It's not even close. It's like, why, instead of giving us this expansive world, driving through the forests and driving past volcanoes, the same shit you did in Forza Horizon 5, same shit you did in Forza Horizon 4. Why don't we just, let's compress this into Tokyo or surrounding cities or multiple cities that you can race from one city to the next, but drown you in underground street race Japanese culture. I want to see cars with tandem body kits on. I want to see J-Ready mufflers. I want to see Hello Kitty livery on my Nissan Skyline. I want to see these neon glowing underbody kits. That is what this game should have been. And I'm looking at this as all this stuff is playing out, and it's like, yeah, well, you can get, you got we got the Porsche and the Ferrari, we got this hot new Japanese GT cruiser car is going to be on the cover, and it's like, you guys are missing the entire point of what this game should have been. You are missing the entire point. I should be in Japanese underground street racing car culture. That's what this game should be. I shouldn't have the hey, like what was that? The Mr. Magic Mike cassette player from Hey girls, we'll be back to pick you up later. It's like, this is so retarded. They can't get out of their own way. They can't let creativity just bloom and say, okay, you've got this consultant who has said that she is tuned in to the car culture scene in Los Angeles, the car culture scene in Japan. This could have been like an East versus West type of deal, where you're this guy from the West Coast, or you're this guy from Japan who's coming to one side or another, and it's like a competing cultures, and you're doing nighttime point-to-point races, whether you're in on the freeways of Tokyo, and all those cool little things like driving on these iconic roads in Japan. Why does it look like any other Forza game? This game should be taking place from dusk, have gameplay periods from dusk to just before sunrise. That should be the only time. No, that should be the only time you're playing the game. This should be Initial D on steroids. That's what Forza Horizon 6 should be. If we're going to do that, that's what it should be. It is not that. I'm sorry, it's not. It is just, hey, welcome to the festival. Buy some Coke, buy some Sprite. Sponsored by Mountain Dew. It's like a narc is trying to attract people to a street race. That's what this is.
I remember playing the Mexican Forza Horizon. I think that was Forza Horizon 4, I think.
Oh, God, yeah.
And they even had hey, Lucha Libre mask, and I was doing Lucha some side quests.
Hey, we don't know nothing about Mexican culture. Hey, you watch that Mexican Lucha Libre. Let's throw that in. It is just so corporate rote slop. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding terrible, but these people with the budget that's behind who's doing this is it Turn 10 that does
that's Playground.
Playground. Okay, Playground. Yeah. The budget that's behind Playground as a studio, they should have said, all right. They could have gone onto YouTube, found the biggest influencers that are in the Japanese street scene and the U.S. street scene, paid them a bunch of money, brought them together, had them be the consultation, the counselors, and have them consult on this, and say, all right, when the cops aren't around, what do you guys do? That's all they would have had to do.
Well, I got some good news for you, Kev. 30 days from now, Tokyo Extreme Racer from Genki will be out on PlayStation 5. And so that game will be out in 30 days from the date of this recording. And I think that game is probably in that same wheelhouse that you're looking for, that you wanted out of Forza Horizon 6. So I don't know if you're going to be there day one, but I'm definitely interested.
I don't know. I'm going to have to look at some gameplay of it, because everybody claims to be an arcade racer, and not everybody is. I've never looked at Forza Horizon series as being arcadey. Honestly, like I've said before, I think the best playing game series of that mix is Grid. No, there's nobody has made a partial sim, mostly arcade / racer, mechanically better than the Grid series. Those cars control fantastically. Forza Horizon cars always kind of feel like they're driving on ice, and it doesn't matter how many times I make the adjustment. But I would have been down to play this game if they would have actually tapped into the culture and not this Mountain Dew, Coke Zero sponsored, Dorito Pope sponsored. Hey, I got another thing for you. Tune into this radio station to get your dew points. Stuff.
Hey, I like dew points.
Okay, well, there was
Like
two
Code
other games
Red.
that were shown. So, Game Freak showed off their Beast of Reincarnation titles. So, this is being published by 2K on there, and basically, this is a post-apocalyptic Japan. You are playing as Emma and her canine friend Ku on here, and you are traversing the dangerous landscapes to overcome with the blight on there. So, and I guess Emma has some plant manipulation powers, and I like to kind of look at this game. I was kind of following through to see what Game Freak, what kind of touch that they had with the game, and they basically said that they're looking over the development of this game, but they've gone out to quite a bit of outside developers to help them develop this game. So the actual team within Game Freak that's actually working on this game is quite small. They're kind of almost like managing this project versus actually creating this game on here. So they're going out to a lot of outside development houses to help with the development of this game to be able to get it out by the summer of 2026 based on the release date for this. So
Yeah, they said you can't get away from Pokemon.
nope,
Get back
can't
in
get
there.
away.
Get back in that cage.
Yeah. But we'll have to see if this comes out quick. I've always kind of enjoyed at least them giving Game Freak a little bit of a leash to do something new other than Pokemon. So I don't know if either of you had a chance to watch the Beast of Reincarnation trailer or not.
Yeah.
But
It looks interesting. I mean, I'm curious to see what a Game Freak led game outside of the Pokemon arena would look like. So, is it a day one? I don't know. Probably not. But unless it just is just like people are just like going crazy about it. But I don't think that's the case. But it has piqued my interest because I mean,
it has piqued my interest as well. So
because again,
They were smart about it. They outsourced their combat mechanics to another company.
Just smart because you know, I don't want to be rude, but they're not known for their combat.
Yeah.
So yeah, more power to them. I'll play it.
It does look good.
And then the last game shown, which I didn't really check out, but Double Fine has a new game. It's called Kiln. It's a team-based multiplayer brawler, but basically all you're doing is creating clay warriors using a magical pottery wheel to bring your team to victory on here. These pots can range from heavy tanks to speedy little jugs who cut through the enemy lines. And they are basically kind of worked off the prototype. They usually have game jams within Double Fine that they kind of team together and kind of compete with in teams internally to like put like game concepts against each other. And this is basically coming out of a game jam that they did. So it's coming out in spring 2026. It's coming out day one for Xbox Series XS, PC, and PlayStation 5 on there. So. I don't know if either of you two saw this or you have any opinion on it. Yeah, but I haven't.
That. So
well,
let's be honest. All you're going to be doing is seeing a whole bunch of phallic-shaped vases smacking each other around. I honestly don't think. I mean, I applaud the project of what they're doing. I think it's great to give your developers a creative outlet rather, and let them just go buck wild on creativity. I don't think this game needed the amount of time that they gave it. I think if there was something else in the pocket that they could have put out, I think this could have been like, hey, we've got, like a little thing that we're working on, and here's like a 8-minute video. I don't think Kiln needed the spot that they gave it. I really don't. But because I just don't have that much faith in gamers being
open-minded,
being like halfway decent. I think you're just going to be having clay pot dicks smacking each other upside, smacking each other, and then this game is just going to disappear into the digital ether because nobody's going to play it after they get their ha-has. And the streamers get their, oh, look, I made the world's biggest penis and I'm smacking it around. I just don't have any faith in the gaming public to do this game any kind of real justice. I just don't. Unless they have taken steps to prevent said shapes from being made. I don't know how you do that.
But, I mean, I can't imagine them doing that. Can you? I can't. I mean, sure. I guess I'm not gonna. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen it, but the fact that you're saying like, penis, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. And to round off the Xbox news for this episode, they did have an interview with Xbox Game Studio boss Craig Duncan. This was from Games Radar. And he was commenting the fact that they're going to be working on being more consistent with its PlayStation 5 release strategy moving forward. He did make a statement in an interview saying there's always development realities about when these projects start, how big a team is, and what plans we have at the start of development. Like you said, when the strategy changes, maybe you have a plan that exists with the game and maybe you could adopt that, maybe you can't. So that's why. So they made to mention the fact that that they want to work on basically releasing most of their titles day and date on PlayStation moving forward on there. So that they want their teams to be successful. So if they feel like they're not going to be able to get both versions out in time, maybe they will delay like the PlayStation 5 version. Yeah, I think in a way they should probably delay the Xbox version, bring the PlayStation 5 version out first. So
no, let them beta test that, because if it's a game I'm interested in, I want the better version.
Yes.
No, let them do the Game Pass beta test, work the kinks out, then bring it to my platform of choice. You keep doing it that way.
They did make a mention the fact that they're still going to use like early access for certain like game preview, like they're doing with Grounded 2 right now on there, where they released it early access on Xbox and PC. So by the time that game comes to PlayStation, it'll be good to go. Same thing that happened with Avowed and South of Midnight, and
let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You are paying a monthly subscription to be a beta tester.
Yeah. Get your money's worth. Get your money's worth.
To round out the Jabroni gaming news, there's a couple of release dates that were announced. So Greedfall 2, The Dying World, actually has a 1.0 release date. This game was in early access on Steam for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's leaving early access, and it's going to launch for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC on March the 12th on here. So I know, Des, you really enjoyed Greedfall 1, so I don't know if you're going to be there day one or you're going to take a look to see how this is cooking.
I'm waiting to see how it's cooking before I get into it. Again, I enjoyed it, but I can't be like day one, let's go. No.
Yeah, you gotta have some time to play Avowed, of course. So, and then last but not least,
Eurojank games.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a Eurojank game, but it's like maybe a little bit more highbrow than like your usual like Elix 1 and 2, that kind of thing. It's
definitely.
They're swinging like to be like kind of like a BioWare-ish action RPG with consequences for your actions and so on and so forth. So
okay.
So, but it's by a French developer, Spiders. So, and they've done quite a few other games.
Wait, didn't they do that one game that I thought one of you two was playing it, and it was just like really choppy animations and
no, you're talking about Sacred. No.
Oh, okay.
No, this is not. Okay. This is not them.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
they're a higher brow than that. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they've done like games like Greedfall, Steel Rising, Technomancer, Bound by Flame. So we've definitely been in the Eurojank wheelhouse, but they, I think, have a little bit of a higher pedigree than your usual like Sacred games.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, and then last but not least, Ubisoft. Speaking, we're going to just round it out, circle back to Ubisoft, but they recently basically put out 60 frames per second patches for some games in their back catalog. So both Far Cry 3, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, and Far Cry Primal all have now 60 frames per second patches that came out on PlayStation on there. So if you do happen to want to dip back into some Far Cry if need be, you'll be able to play at a better frame rate. So Far Cry 4 already previously got a 60 frames per second update, like I think last year on here. But I'm kind of interested because the only Far Cry I've really played to completion was Far Cry 4, and so I actually went ahead and I downloaded Far Cry 3. So, and maybe once I'm done with Borderlands, maybe I'll dip back in and play one of these games. I know, Des, we played like Primal a little bit too, because Primal basically was Far Cry 4 on a different map and on the same map in prehistoric times. So
yeah, Primal was actually pretty good. Like, I just kind of lost the plot with it for a little bit, but yeah, it was kind of nice actually.
Yeah, I downloaded that game as well. So I'm going to see if we dip back in. Might be one of these backlog games we talk about as the year kind of moves around. But that is the Jabroni Gaming News for this episode.
All right. Game nights take place every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is the day and time that we set aside to play games with our growing Discord community. So if you're interested in playing games either with us or members of our Discord, just post whatever game you want to play in the game night channel, and someone will be more than happy to join you on said game night, which again is Thursday evenings. So you might be asking yourself, how do you join the Discord? That's easy as well. All you do is head over to the app formerly known as Twitter, currently known as X, XXXX, or Blue Sky. Yes. And you go over to @GamingVessels, GamingVessels. You click the link in the bio and you're in. We don't have any merch to hawk to you. We don't have a Patreon tier list for you to pay for. All we ask is that you just be a decent person who likes talking about and playing video games. I think you'll find a happy home aboard the good ship Gaming Vessel, if I can speak correctly. So, with all that said and out of the way, that is going to bring episode 298 to a close. I want to thank y'all for hanging out, cooling out, chilling out without a doubt this week. So for Dez, a.k.a. the Bay Area Terror, a.k.a. the High Res Lover.
That's me.
A.k.a. the Cat Daddy, a.k.a. that Gamer Stepdaddy. And for Trader Joe, a.k.a. Jabroni Chief.
Yeah.
But you might better know him as the Food Max of Gaming who can maximize your gaming dollar. I am Shonuff71, a.k.a. Diggadulamite.
Purple bling bling, y'all.
And we'll be back next week, episode 299 for your ear holes. Peace.